Drew Harding, part of the Pillar team. While you're setting up, I will leave to you to introduce yourself because nobody can tell it better than you.
Sure. My name is Drew Harding. I'm the product owner for Pillar. Pillar, if you don't know, is essentially next generation smart wallet. So smart contract-based wallet and payment network. So we've built our own hub and spoke space channel network. But this is, and I'm going to go in a little bit different direction. I know this is a developer summit, but being that we're also really a product design for the retail consumer, we're going to talk a little bit about how collaboration and working with some of our partners is going to enable our ecosystem to grow and also our platform and product to grow beyond just asset storage, asset management, typical wallet functionality. So with that, we're out here this week to unveil, as I mentioned, the smart contract functionality. We initially started off with externally owned addresses, key-based addresses. We're making that move with a lot of other wallet providers to smart contract-based accounts. And with the payment network that we built, we also have some pretty unique functionality where we're doing a synthetic asset exchange in the background, staking our native token. You can get exposure and transfer any other asset that's supported by our wallet or any other network. So when we move to cross-chain, which we're looking to do in about the next month, which will be Bitcoin first, by staking our ERC20 token, you'll be able to actually transfer Bitcoin to other peers, also other services. This has all actually been accomplished because of partnerships that's been done with other teams, other providers, the first of which is Abridged. So Abridged, made a reality by little help from my friends, specifically Abridged. And so Abridged is a development platform, an SDK that allows for rapid application development, blockchain application development. It's a kind of a lean application framework specifically focused on generalized state channels, hub and spoke state channel solutions, smart contract-based accounts, etc. The interesting thing here is because we've worked really closely with them, we have this give and take relationship where we can also inject some of our functionality into other dApps that work with the Abridged SDK, including end-to-end encrypted messaging, which we built on the back of Signal, and contact management, simple contact management, and the application layer of that synthetic asset exchange piece that I've just touched on. We also worked with LimeChain on something that we're about to unveil and talk about and give you a little bit more of a sneak peek on. They handled a lot of the development work on this. And then Andre, which as an individual, he works with DeepWork. It's a design company that's really focused on the user experience of blockchain space. So again, being a consumer-facing application, wallet, we're more interested in trying to capture what they're interested in, basically the people outside of this room. And in doing so, we're all about trying to dog food our way to figure that out. And so it was a collaboration of all these individuals that led to the production of Frank. So Frank is, in a nutshell, TikTok, or a social video sharing app with crypto tipping built in.
Go ahead and get
So,
and scan.
yeah, this isn't a live QR code. You're all actually invited to scan and join the test net for, or rather the test application beta test of Frank. And we believe that obviously tips are better than likes. This is also meant to kind of, it's more focused for the crypto space because we're trying to capture those that are already in the space versus hoping that we can cause users to cross the chasm and then jump in, but we're hoping this might be able to tangent into. But yeah, I'd like to actually invite the Abridged guys up. I'd like to, Andre, if you'd like to come up. George, you can stand up here. I don't know, weren't expecting any of this necessarily, but we're actually going to walk you through the playground, the Abridged playground, and also the Frank's code base, and show you a little bit about the tooling behind the creation of this, and what this means for both Abridged, for you as developers, and for us, Pillar, as a wallet platform for end users. So This is Eric Chung. He's one of the founders of Abridged, and he's actually going to specifically go into the playground, or maybe Duncan is, and then we'll move into the Frank stuff specifically.
Hey guys, my name is Eric, and I'm a co-founder of Abridged. And we're going to walk you guys through the playground really quick. Basically, Abridged, like Drew said, is a development platform for you guys to integrate all these different Web3 components into your dApps so that your users can have an amazing experience, right? So this is basically the SDK that we have built, but with a front end that you guys can now, it visually exposes all of the method calls, so you can click through it, and all of the SDK code is actually right there. That's what you would copy and paste into your app, for it to work exactly like you would do. So what we're going to do, just real quick before we do that, is let me just give you a little bit of guidance, if you want to zoom out real quick. Just to get you guys situated, at the top, that blue bar, or purple bar, right, you're going to have some basic information about your account contracts. So kind of the bread and butter of Abridged is counterfactual account contracts that you guys can integrate into your apps to have seamless onboarding. This is actually like the most used feature of Abridged at the moment. And at the bottom we have some console, logging stuff, and you can actually see all the SDK events that are triggered and the state of the SDK. And on the left, you have all of the different method calls. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through a really quick flow of how you as a developer would put this code into your app by actually running through the playground flow of creating a counterfactual account contract and then deploying that. And then we'll show you exactly how that looks like from the user perspective when you guys play with Frank. So we're going to create an ENS label. It needs to be 7 characters long. Okay, so we're going to hit that run button. And what that does is now run the Robson test network. And you can see we've just created a counterfactual account address up there, right? You see that on the left, account address, right? So that is a counterfactually instantiated contract wallet that you have now just generated. So obviously it's counterfactually instantiated, so what you want to do is now give it some gas and deploy that thing so that your users can access their funds. The usefulness of account contracts is that your users can actually onboard onto your app without ever having to deal with gas, and yet they still have full custody of their funds.
While we're waiting, I can speak a little bit about. So this is exactly how we're going to be deploying accounts for all of our users that are currently on Pillar. Like I mentioned, we started with externally owned addresses or key-based, and it's challenging because there's a little bit of a legacy hangover where you're gonna need to transfer funds, you need to deploy, all these types of things. So the real benefit will, or the real, I guess, seamless flow will come for those that are going to start their journey with us post this. Keys are going to never leave us from a functionality and industry standpoint, but we expect that the relationship will become more ephemeral and not so permanent in nature or relationship.
Here, we'll show you guys what it looks like from the user perspective.
Yeah, hey, so while this is loading, I'm Andre, but this is not about me, this is about you, because we built an app that's literally for you. Yeah, by the way, if you want to build an app as a product designer, I could recommend you to take something that already exists and making it slightly different. Okay, this is completely different, but what you'll see is the whole system behind it is actually quite familiar, because we tried to replicate something that's familiar like TikTok or Instagram, because people know how to use it, and make it just a bit different, so people might be interested in how to use it, because the technology itself is cool.
Because points are fun, which are basically likes, but money's better.
Exactly.
So let's combine the two.
So yeah, I mean, if you have an iPhone, because currently only the iPhone app is out, tomorrow we'll have the Android version. Follow along, because I'll show you how to do it. This is the app. It's like basically what you know from Instagram or from TikTok. You have a video feed. You can scroll through it by scrolling up. Obviously, it's not as smooth because we did it in 3 weeks, which is, by the way, pretty impressive by LimeChain. Thanks, guys. That was insane. And
props to the Abridged SDK.
oh yeah, exactly. That's like That's the magic behind it.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. So if you see a video that's cool,
Like that.
this guy,
Oh! There we go. This was our pre-unveil
yeah,
line.
it's the internet. But imagine him moving and drinking shit face in a matter of 20 seconds. So the tipping button just brings up a thing. You can donate whatever tip you would. A lemon or
Or a Lambo.
a Lambo, obviously. And then you just give them a tip.
So what we've done here too is
Done.
we've preloaded a bunch of accounts, especially for beta testing. So they're already deployed. In the future, counterfactually deployed. So that's the hurdle, right? How do we create a situation or for users that they don't have to worry about, okay, I have an account, but it's not working. It's not active. I need to actually get some ETH in here. Well, what's ETH? Again, you start that same like rabbit hole down into. So my suspicion is there's going to be a combination of applications that choose to own the deployment cost. It's simply the same as a user acquisition cost or infrastructure cost in a lot of different ways that might be considered applicable to Web 2 today. So, but at the same time, we are seeing new token models, we're seeing new revenue models come up with both CDAI, RDAI, and what you can do with these things that will possibly can create sustainability without the need to even worry about any of this stuff. So.
Exactly. Crypto is completely hidden behind it. I mean, in this beta version, actually they're quite hidden, but the idea is that it's completely hidden. As you can see, there's no mention of crypto. Like, the only reference to a financial transaction is the $sign. If you want to top up your account, I'm just going to show you quickly how this works. You go into your account, you have your account settings, you top it up with Wire. Right now, Wire only works with American credit cards, so if you have an American credit card, that works. If not, we built in a functionality to also update, Jesus Christ, send DAI onto the account balance, so you can just do it from your computer. There's your account address, and just copy it over, send it, and then you have it in the current balance, and then you can basically just distribute tips. And
yeah, so tying this all back in to Pillar and what, this is an experiment that was a joint experiment between Abridged, Andre, LimeChain guys, us as Pillar, to explore, again, some of these challenges that we all know about, to experiment with how we can build things that are going to attract the users, again, that aren't in this room necessarily, but some that are maybe. And also, what we're going to look to do is, this is likely to be one of the first apps that we will natively pull into our wallet platform as well. So we can actually remove a lot of the onboarding challenges, a lot of the deployment challenges, because that's already going to be, that's a hurdle that most of our user base has overcome. So we'll be dropping this into the Pillar wallet and exposing that to our user base and seeing how they play with this thing, seeing how they use this. And we expect that these types of experiments are going to be what push us forward. It allows us to figure out what works, what doesn't, and it allows us to explore which way to go next and how to grow. So yeah, it's an ongoing experiment, but we'd rather get into the trenches and build and figure it out and let our users play with things and see what works and what doesn't. Fail fast, learn, iterate, move again. We can spend all the time we want building new tools and trying to, but at the end of the day, without the users, even if you're a B2B, if there's no C, we have nothing. So let's, this is our approach, and we're really excited about it. And we're really excited to be working with teams like LimeChain, like Abridged, Andre, and seeing how we can collectively, rise the waters and move the needle in the industry. So. Yeah, that's what we've done. Please check out Frank, download, play with it. People are tipping people. We have some prizes going to be going around. Really exciting videos. We're going to be seeding this with some pretty heavy tips. So if you feel like you got some interesting content, please load it in. And yeah.
And if you have any feedback as well,
please,
let us know.
Yeah.
Because this week is about testing this and making this a lot better. So play around with it, get some cash.
That's who we are.